now the end is near, and so we face the final curtain. Not really sad visuals, it's just I'm trying to make it more than what it is. Sure, I did the same last week. Hello visuals! Let's actually start. Let's do... Fuck! Hello visuals and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, the day of the week where we talk about, did Indiana Jones really do all that cool shit? Or was it a film? What am I doing with my life? Yes, visuals, it is the final episode of my favourite Pokemon of every single type, and it's the ghost type, and we're finally here. We're finally at the end of our mini-series. We'll probably revisit again in 3, 4, 5 generations time when a million new Pokemon have been added, and we're like, actually, I'm going to redo it. But for now, that's it, done, dusted. Next week, we will do the much anticipated by anybody, probably nobody, just me, video of our Paldean Evolved collection so far. We'll do that next week. In fact, I might just record it right after this because I'll just sit on the desk and we'll go through them. Anyway, so next week it's just back to sort of regular viewing. No more favourite lists. Unless I think of a cool different list we could do, like our favourite Pokemon that look like they might be herbivores. Visuals, the ghost typing is, there's no real reason why the ghost typing as well has ended off here. It's not like I'm doing it because it's my least favourite typing or anything. It's just the way we've done it. I've just randomly, like, every now and then, I'll be like, oh, we'll do the dragon type this week. Oh, we'll do the ice. It's just been randomised. But visuals, here are my 10 favourite ghost type Pokemon of all time. But please, let me know what you think of, not only my list, but let me know what your list is. Who your favourite, who your least favourite. What do you think of the ghost typing? Is it your favourite type? Is it your least favourite type? Whatever you want to let me know about the ghost typings, worlds of Pokemon, whatever. Let me know what you do with your day. Let me know what the last sandwich you had was. If anybody's out there really listening to this fat mouth ramble on, probably not. Then let us know what the last sandwich you had, as well as your favourite ghost type Pokemon, and what you think their favourite sandwich would be. And then we can really get some conversation going. But visuals, until then, here's my 10 favourite ghost type Pokemon of all time. Number 10, we're kicking us off. He's kicking us off. It's Dusknoir. Now, there's no real particular reason for Dusknoir. It's not a Pokemon that I've used a hell of a lot. It's not a Pokemon I have a particular attachment to. But I had to put him on the list when I was going through all the different ghost type Pokemon because I've said it before a million times. I'm going to say it again. What we're going to say, visuals, he is a Pokemon-y Pokemon. He has an epic Pokemon feel about him. But not only that, he fits the bill so well for a ghost type Pokemon. He has all the elements of a real ghost, the way that he's floating, the way that he moves, the way that his body ends and has that little wiggly effect and whatnot. Everything about him screams ghost type. He looks fantastic. He looks amazing. He looks scary and menacing and whatnot. And I had to give him some honor and some love and some credit because it's a huge point in my book when you look like an epic ghost Pokemon. And maybe, who knows, this could start off a new team for me on a certain whatever game with a Dusknoir. Getting a Dusknoir on the team. 9 is another new addition. I've had a few new additions to these lists from the newest Pokedex of Scarlet and Violet, the Paldean region, and it's Annihilape. Annihilape is so cool. Annihilape is absolutely badass, and as well, I think Annihilape is, well, if I remember correctly, made my favourite fighting type list. I should have kept all my lists, but they've all been deleted. I don't know what that is. But Annihilape is amazing. Not only does it expand already 2 iconic legendary Pokemon in Mankey and Primeape, but it adds an extra layer of real flavour. The fighting type with the ghost type, the way that it stands there, the hovering bits of like its hair sort of shenanigans, the way that the face is enclosed in the little red eye shenanigans and whatnot. Some awesome, amazing moves with some great names. Even how you evolve the Primeape into Annihilape is quite cool. But Annihilape is amazing. He looks so friggin' fantastic. We're so happy to have one on one of my recent runs of the Scarlet, the Violet team. We did Violet, didn't we? It looks fantastic. Great addition to the world of Pokemon. I love me some Annihilape. Number 8 is Marshadow. Again, another Pokemon that was on another list. He was on our fighting type list. But I love this little son of a gun. I love this little mythical, badassy little shit of a prick. I only call him that because of what happened in the I Choose You movie with the whole ho-oh shenanigans. But Marshallow's a fantastic design, great typings and whatnot. But the character that's behind him, the story they give Marshallow, the little bit of lore they give to him, and like I said, when he gets his old green whatnot going, some amazing artwork cards, especially with the tag team stuff. He was tag team with Machamp in the Sun and Moon TCG stuff, and he just looks great. I think they nailed it for mythical Pokemon and Marshadow. He's kind of a bit dead in the water now. We don't really speak or hear of Marshadow much, whereas some mythicals, obviously, you hear like the Mews all the time, Celebi's quite a bit, the Jirachis and whatnot. But Marshallow's definitely gone quiet and a bit under the radar, but I appreciated it the second it came out and we had it as a Pokemon. It looks great. It is great. Some amazing cards. Great appearance in a film, great backstory, great lore, great Pokemon. Then Dragapult. I've mentioned him in the Dragon type list because Dragapult had to be added in that list. He is phenomenal. One of my favourite pseudos of all time. But just to cut it straight down, since I've already basically explained it because it's going to be the same sort of reasons. He's a huge, not nostalgia because he's not old enough to be nostalgic, but huge emotional thing for me because he was in my first ever Sword and Shield team. And usually if I use a Pokemon in my first ever teams, I instantly make a massive connection and say, right, I love you now to the end of time. Like, you're in my first ever team in this game because of a particular reason. And most of my Pokemon are always based on design. It's never really type in or moves or how strong or whatever. It's usually 9 times out of 10. Maybe I could say 10 out of 10. It's based on no, because sometimes I use Pokemon just because I haven't really used them before, so I better add. But my first teams are always based on design and look, and I think they smashed the design behind Dream. But again, just like Marshall, has a great little story behind it, a great little design concept story behind it as well as to why it's designed the way it is. Just looks phenomenal. The way he's floating there and the way that his tail will eventually end up translucent and stuff. Great entire line with Dreepy all the way up to Dragapult, but Dragapult is a beast. Number 6 is Mimikyu. Now, Mimikyu's a Pokemon, right? All the normal sort of marks, great design, all that carry on, great typings, the Ghost Fairy and whatnot. Great little interaction inside of the Sun and Moon games we're in the supermarket. All that's fantastic, but Mimikyu 110% makes this list because there is a huge epic story behind it. There's a lot of Pokemon out there that are very two-dimensional. I know there's a little bit, there's inspiration behind every Pokemon, and there's reasons for, why is a Drowsy like this, or why is a Magnemite like that. There's always stuff behind it. But a lot of Pokemon you look at and go, we have a Fearow, it looks like this, it's just the way we go, it's done. But Mimikyu's got so much behind it. It's got the heartbreaking story about it. It feels lonely. It wants to look like a popular Pokemon, Pikachu, but then we get inside of the anime, and the one that hangs around with Jesse and James really hates his Pikachu. It's always getting at it. In fact, they actually beat without cheating, didn't they, that Pikachu with that Mimikyu and stuff. And it's got all of this character and design and lore and story behind it, and it's just so amazing to follow. It feels like the extra steps and the extra layers to go into the design, the overall design of this Pokemon were taken, and they did a phenomenal job. They did a fantastic job to battle with as well. Great, obviously it's got what the fuck's it called? Disguise break, just whatever it is, it fucking head sinks and whatnot. The thing with Meowth, when Meowth looked at it, Meowth basically died for a bit. Mimikyu is an amazing Pokemon with so much attention to detail put in, and I think as well, it's just a huge fan favourite now. Instantaneously a massive fan favourite. Number 5 is Rotom. Rotom's cool for many reasons. Yes, you can have loads of different forms with loads of different typings. Yes, it's this weird, not mythical, but at the time when it first came out, I was like, oh, is this like a bit of a mythical Pokemon when I first saw it and stuff? To the introduction of becoming your Dex, or when you ride around in the wild area and in Sword and Shield and stuff. But Rotom is more the first time you meet it. That I will never forget when you first interact with Rotom. You go into the old abandoned, horrible minging fucking mansion thing, and you're walking around, and there's the noises, all this kind of. You go to the TV, and it's like the whole. I get the whole feel of not paranormal activity. Fucking the fucking ghost film. Oh, come back to us. The one where the TV, the little girl gets sucked in. I can't remember what the fuck it's called now, but I always get that vibe behind it. Yes, you know what film I'm about, the tree and the clown under the bed and stuff. And I always had that spooky vibe. Yes, Rotom does not look scary. Yes, Rotom isn't anything major special like Sword and Shield and whatnot. You can go around this fucking Rotom everywhere and stuff. But Rotom's a great design. Everything that goes with the fact that it can possess the lawnmower, possess the fan, or the freezer, and it carries on. It has all these extra little layers. But that first interaction, that first trying to find Rotom, and like I said, coming out of the TV, I was like, this feels weird and unique and amazing. What an interesting way for us to encounter this Pokemon and stuff. Oh, I love me some fucking Rotom. Poltergeist! Fucking Poltergeist the film, isn't it? Shut up, Xbox. That was weird. Poltergeist possessed shit. Well, who did we just do? Yeah, that was Poltergeist for the film I was thinking of for Rotom. Where are we at now on our list? Rotom was 5. Number 4, we've got Giratina. Again, I don't need to harp on about it too much because Giratina got mentioned heavily in our Dark type listing and stuff. He's one of my favourite dragons. He's one of my favourite legendaries. I love everything about Giratina. You know, simply iconic at this point. The Platinum game being one of the best Platinum games ever. The Distortion World stuff. Giratina is amazing. Absolutely 110% just sheer perfection. The story with the Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, the whole circle and whatnot. You know, the whole theory is about it. It's the hell Pokemon. Arceus, the god Pokemon. Everything about it. Outstanding. Beautiful. I've definitely said too much about Giratina. I love the fucker. And also Trevenant. Trevenant made my grass type listing. Phantom didn't make the grass type listing, but it's high up on the ghost type listing. Now, as much as I am a scaredy cat, and as much as I am a, proper like, oh, that's dark, I can't go there, I'll be, oh, it's freaky, I still adore and love all things Halloween. I don't know if it's because the immature side of me, people dressing up and trick-or-treating and watching a horror film in the night and stuff like that. But Phantom has that, not only a great, fantastic Pokemon look, but it literally embodies the story of what Halloween is. This creepy dark woods where the trees are alive and there's spirits lurking and wandering and waiting, and it gives me the sort of vibe. And grass typing helps because I love grass typing, but I think they really nailed it. They really nailed it with embodying what is the ghost type Pokemon and what is a ghost type Pokemon. And the story behind it's supposed to be kids that went into the forest and got lost and died, and they've eventually become Phantoms and stuff. Trevenant as well, everything that I'm saying about Phantom can relate to Trevenant as well. Great design, the whole horror trees and all that carry on. But I really do, something really hits us home. Like I remember the early days of playing Pokemon Go, especially at Halloween time, and the way I used to bike home from work, and I'd go through this certain park in the forest and whatnot. And even though Phantom wasn't out at the time, but I always imagined in Pokemon Go when I'm playing, like, imagine like the Phantom running out and all that kind of stuff, and seeing sort of artwork and packaging, especially when they did the Halloween stuff, the Pokemon Halloween trick-or-treat cards and shit, and I'm sure there was a Phantom on the cover of that, but if there wasn't, there should be. And it just, like I said, it embodies what is Halloween, and Halloween being one of my favourite times of the year. Oh, beautiful. I'm definitely not going to say much about this one because it gets mentioned all the time. One of my favourite Pokemon of all time, one of my favourite grass types, one of my favourite starters, Decidueye. Decidueye is on this list and high up by default. Just because I love it so much, and it's an excuse to make me have it high up on a list. I love Decidueye. I've harped about it so much on the channel. I won't bore you anymore. He's our number 2. So I don't think I need to say enough about these boys. I'm going to do the whole line. It's Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar, who also made our favourite poison types. But they have to be the best ghost types, don't they? You might say they're the most powerful or the strongest or the best. We're not bothered about that. But right, again, trillion, million, billion top tier Pokemon feels without a shadow of a doubt, without question of a doubt. That is not up for debate. They are ultimate Pokemon. But not only that, if Phantom embodies what Halloween is, these guys are Halloween. They literally are the meaning of ghost type Pokemon. If ghost type Pokemon had a picture next to its description, it would just be, one of these boys. It would be Gengar, it would be Haunter, it would be Ghastly. There's Generation 1 being the only ghost types as well. The story that, of Ash having to get the Haunter to take on Sabrina and stuff. The involvement they have where they're all silly and immature and weird and that. Gengar getting involved with Ash obviously gives it a lot of points as well because, Ash's Gengar was super duper cool from the anime just before he left. But How can I not do a ghost list and not put this line, or maybe just Gengar for most people, at the top of this list? He is one of the most recognizable, one of the most popular, one of the most awesome, amazing Pokemon ever created. He's a huge fan favorite. He always will be. So many people love Gengar. And yeah, he literally is the embodiment of a ghost type Pokemon, of a ghost, of haunted, of what is scary and spooky. Gengar was obviously always going to be the #1 pick. There we have it, visuals. That was my favourite ghost type Pokemon of all time. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of my list. Let me know your list. Do you think, are you on the same page as me as to how high and top tier we've rated Gengar? Should he be a little bit lower? Am I maybe overhyping him, or do I put him on this pedestal with just real justification? Let me know in the comments below, visuals. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. Tomorrow, always keep being you and keep on keeping on.